All right, guys. Welcome back to the Lost Boyz Podcast, episode, I believe, 17.
Something like that.
Gianni.
Brandon.
I almost called myself Brandon.
I was about to say Gianni.
And yeah, welcome back. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn the post notifications on so you can see when we post, which is every single Thursday at 12 p.m. Follow the TikTok, Lost Boyz Podcast. And what else? Watch the shorts.
Follow us on Instagram. Both our Instagrams will be in the description below.
And with that being said, today's episode is about leveling up.
Moving up in life.
Yep. So, start it off.
Let's start it off with, Gianni, what was your first job?
My first job was a pizza delivery boy. I was a pizza delivery boy, yeah. My friend, Manuel, my friend Manny, he got me the job for that summer, and yeah, I just delivered pizza locally.
So were you the pizza boy in the pornos that was pulling up with the pizza?
I wish I was. Unfortunately, no one answered the door naked. I did get offered weed as a tip before, and I was like, I don't smoke, so no thank you. Can I get cash for it?
Yeah, that's hilarious. Like, yo, I don't got cash, but here's some bud.
It was actually common. It would happen to us a lot. You'd be surprised.
Those were the drug dealers.
Yeah.
You were about to have insert town police on, like, yo, so hook us up with these addresses.
Yeah. Excuse me, sir. We have a conspiracy charge on you as a compliance. What? I just delivered pizza. But yeah, what was your first job?
My first job was McDonald's in the city. Shout out 34th Street Macy's McDonald's. God, that was a pain in the ass of a job. Till this day, I haven't had a harder job.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never worked fast food, thankfully. But
you don't understand.
Well, I don't know if pizza's not considered fast food, right? Or a restaurant. It's semi-fast food.
Yeah. But, like, there's a difference between delivering and, like, being in the kitchen kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, bro, the stress of when you pull up and you're like, yeah, so-and-so didn't show up today, so you got the front and I got the kitchen. What the fuck?
Well, yeah, you're getting... What you get from me is what you get. Don't ask me for more.
If it's
Tell those motherfuckers to show up or pay me more.
Yo, my God. It was an interesting job, though. You know, I've referenced the job many times on the podcast before. This is where I broke the shell.
Yeah, I've had many jobs, though. That was my first one. I did it for like 2-3 months. It was over the summer before college, going into college. Then after that, I worked a couple jobs.
What was the worst job you ever worked?
The one I liked the least, I would say, was probably valet.
Valet?
Yeah, valet parking. It was fun only on Saturdays because it was me and all my friends. So it'd be 4 of us, and we all grew up with each other, and we were all friends. It was me, Adam, Basso, and another kid, Hassan. I would just fuck around. They'd be like stressed, sprinting for cars, and I would be walking, swinging the keys in my finger. They'd be cursing at me, yo, hurry up. Listen, bro, I'm not stressing. I didn't like the owner of the restaurant too. He rubbed me the wrong way, so I just took my time. I literally spent like 3-4 months. It's gonna sound bad, but I spent 3-4 months trying to get fired, and it took them like 4 or 5 months to finally fire me. I was like, why did it take you so long? It was obvious like 4 months ago I didn't give a shit. Why now? But I didn't care either way. I was working 2 jobs at the same time, so that was like extra money. I was working at the gym, and then on Friday mornings, I'd work the valet to like 5 p.m. and then go work at the gym. And then Saturday, I would work the gym in the morning and then go do valet at night. And then Sundays were my only day off. So I worked 6 days a week.
Young hustler.
Just get into the money.
That's me right now. I'm working 6 days a week, and the only reason why I'm not working 7 is because she legally can't put me on for 7.
Yeah. But yeah. So I did that. The valet was probably by far the one I least liked. Yeah, the rest weren't bad. Actually, I'd still say valet, but Amazon was good. Amazon's down on their list. I just fucking stuttered. No, Amazon's down there too. Amazon wasn't terrible. It was just like the constant having to bend down, bend up, bend down. That like my lower back would start getting tight. then driving so much.
Mm-hmm.
I would drive like 30 minutes just to get there. Then I get in the van, drive literally an hour to get to where I'm delivering. Deliver for like 8 hours, and then have to drive an hour back, and then drive 30 minutes home, and then go to the gym. And I'm like, yo, this shit sucks. But it was chill. Like I had the Bluetooth connection. Yo, 10 in the morning, I was pulling into people. They say don't go into driveways. Full speed turn right into the driveways. Exactly. I heard the Bad Bunny in the background. You just heard the boom. See people walking their dogs looking at me. How are you? You see me come run.
Trespassing packages.
Nah, I was cool with the packages. Only some spots. Like if there was a dog, put down the window. Put that shit. I'm not getting out, bro. I've had a dog jump on me before. It's like, yeah, I'm good. I almost killed a goose.
Fuck them geese.
Like, the goose was tight. The goose was tight. I didn't see it. All I saw at last second, I just saw a little beak poking out above the hood.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh shit. I was like this close to like hitting it right in the head. Because it was a farm I was delivering to. Yo, that shit came around to the door like going crazy.
He was about a whole triangle and you put your ass out the car.
I put down the window, threw the package at it, put it up, and I left. I was like, I'm going home.
Takes a picture out the car.
Yeah, I just put that the owner picked it up. That way I don't have to take the picture.
I'm fucking good. Yo, quick side note, but right before you got here, I saw on Instagram that Amazon sells pets now. And I was like, what the actual fuck? I was like, I saw it's like you buy tadpoles, chameleons, like a whole bunch of weird shit through Amazon. Yo,
no Prime.
Yo, a chameleon had next day shipping.
What the fuck? How does my whole thing is like, what do they ship it in?
That's what I'm saying. Where are they just housing this right next to the fucking lawnmowers? Like,
imagine the driver, bro, is driving. Package. It's just the fuck. I put that shit down and leave. I'm gone, bro. You guys deal with it.
Yo, shout out Jeffrey Bezos though.
Yeah, it was funny. I quit Amazon though. I just left. I never came back. I came back 2 weeks later to pick up my check. And then I never came back.
Let me get my check.
No, they were trying to do me dirty though, so I had to.
Fuck that.
Made me work. I was the last person to leave on Christmas and New Year's. I was like, I'm done. I wasn't even supposed to be a driver today. I was just like a backup just in case someone didn't show up. And everybody showed up. Like, oh, can you take these jobs? Okay, cool. Fucking 10 hours later, I'm the last driver coming back. I was pissed. I was like, I'm not coming back.
And with that said, that's how I quit this job.
Yeah. And then, how many jobs have I had? I had delivery driver, umpire, was a baseball umpire. I valeted, the gym, server at a restaurant, server at another restaurant before COVID hit. So I worked there for like 3 weeks. Worked at another restaurant. Then I worked at another gym. Then I went back to another gym. Then what did I do from there? Then I went to Amazon. And then from Amazon, I went to a liquor store. And then now I actually work a real job where I work.
Big boy job.
It's like 12 different jobs.
I have worked McDonald's, Boys and Girls Club, worst job I've ever had. Back to McDonald's, retro. 4 jobs.
Soon to be 5.
Soon to be 5. Which brings us to the topic of today's episode, which we started with leveling up.
Yep.
And how where you are now is like a stepping stone. It's where you are for now. And then it's up to you to take the next step. And
hopefully for now. It better be for now.
It's for now if you make it for now.
Exactly.
That's why you can't get comfortable.
Yep.
Just don't get too comfortable.
Yep. That's why, like we always say, learn to become comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the things you least expect yourself to be good at is what you're great at.
It's true.
It just comes down to this, the mental.
Actually, it was one of my last points written down, but it fits right now, so I'll say it. When it comes time to, you on the verge of leaving your comfort zone, you will find that, and you don't know you're doing this, but you will start to make excuses as to why you need to stay there. And the reason why I wrote this down is because right before I started, like, you know, interviewing and everything, I was like, nah, like, there was a hesitation there, right? Because one, it was like, oh, well, I don't know this skill yet. I haven't learned it, right? Mm-hmm. This isn't something I've never done before. And on the flip side, it was also like, you know, I'm very comfortable in my job. I can get away with fucking murder, like, like everything. And then I was like, the two sides of that coin was like, nah, this is when I'm supposed to take this leap. This is when I'm supposed to dive into the fact that I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, that, you know, I've never done this before, and X, Y, and Z. And I was like, oh, nah, this is gonna be an experience. And that's what propelled me, at least from my side of this story, to actually be excited and want to progress and want to get better and go through the interviews and everything.
No, I'm glad you say that, because I literally had those same exact feelings. I just got hired for a job that he's also interviewing, so it's the same job, and he's about to get hired too. So, no, I had the same exact feeling. Like, I remember leading up to it, I started doubting myself. Mm-hmm. I was like, damn, do I really want to do this? Like, I don't know. I was like trying to talk myself out of like getting a real job. And then like in the moment, like I was having self-realizations though in the moment, and I was like, nah, fuck that. Like, this is what's necessary. Like, I noticed what it came down to was being so comfortable with how I was living that I was afraid, not of the job, but of the idea that I was growing up. Mm-hmm. It was like I didn't want to grow up, and knowing that I was getting this is like a step into growing up, and I was way too comfortable this way, and I literally said this to myself. I was like, "You're just being afraid of growing up. Mm-hmm. At some point, you got to grow up. Might as well do it now. Get it done early." And I had to talk myself out of those doubts. And then even so, like my very first day, I didn't feel as confident as I do now. And mind you, this is like a week ago. Not that long ago. Last Wednesday this was. And Wednesday, it's crazy how quickly it changed though. Because Wednesday I walked in and I was like, I was doubting myself again. I was like, oh, like I don't know if I'm going to be good at this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to compete with these people or do this, do that. I don't know if I even have enough sales background for this compared to the other people. I even said it like when I introduced myself. I don't know if I have as much sales as you guys, but I'm trying to make a living off sales, and the gym wasn't cutting it. And so yeah, and then Wednesday I heard. I don't know if I should say it. Wednesday I went through it. You know, I learned more about the job, heard more about it, and things. And then it clicked in my head. And Thursday I walked in, I just felt super confident. I was listening to everything. And then and Wednesday was overwhelming because of how much information they gave me. But then when Thursday came around that we reviewed, and I was literally the one answering most of it, and I realized how much of the information I actually retained, then the confidence kicked in. And I was like, now I'm in this, it went from doubting myself and trying to talk myself out of it to me feeling like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking kill this shit. Like, I got this. Like, the mindset just switched. Like, a couple weeks ago, I went from being afraid to grow up to now feeling like I'm fucking destroyed this job. Like, they're gonna have to move me so fast that they've never moved somebody so fast in their life. Like, the quick flip just happened out of nowhere. But it's only because I took myself out I put myself into discomfort. Because if I just stayed comfortable, then none of this happens. And I probably don't reach that new level of confidence or believe in myself as much as I do now.
For that brief moment when you take the leap, it's like you have shackles on your feet. You're like, you know, you're stutter stepping and everything. And then it's like once you realize, damn, I'm not going back, that's when the shackles are off. It's like, you know what? Let me get as good at this as I fucking can. Yeah.
And the craziest part about the shackles is that the whole time the key to unlock them is in your pocket. You're just too scared to reach in your pocket and pull it out and just... This is what's holding you back.
It's true. It's all mental.
Yeah. Always all... If you know us, you know we always say it's all mental.
There are a few people that are about to punch their screens once they hear that.
They're tired of hearing that shit. But I was saying that today in my game. I forgot what it was. My hamstring was hurting today. I tell the third baseman, my hamstring's hurting. He's like, you good? You need a runner or something? Or like, you need somebody else to play? It's like, shit's all mental. It was physical, but it was all mental too. I got through the game. No one subbed for me.
Yeah. At work This had to be like last week. One of my coworkers, I like had to sneeze, but I stopped the sneeze. And she was like, yo, just like sneeze or whatever. I was like, nah, that shit's all mental. My body asked me for permission and I said no, so it didn't want to sneeze anymore. Yo, and I never sneezed. And she was like, what the fuck? Like, yo.
The power of the mind is crazy.
It's true.
But yeah, I think one of the issues that comes when it comes to confidence and like leveling up and stuff, and what holds people back is comparing themselves to others.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean is, for example, we're 23, right? I know somebody else who's 23 who lives far more luxurious than I do. But if I compare myself to that person as just to be like, oh, they got something I don't. Oh man, like, no, I don't know if I could do it or two. Or like, is the comparison like, oh, I want it, but I don't think I can do it kind of thing. I think that holds people back too from leveling up, because it's like they look at where they are compared to somebody else, and then think less of themselves, think they're not as capable because they're there and I'm not, and then they just kind of live this way because they just assume, oh, this is me, this is what I'm supposed to do. Whereas the only difference with that person and you is just that person took the chance.
Yeah,
that's literally the only difference. They had a goal in mind and they attacked.
A big issue, and what is probably one of the catalysts for that, is just you can't compare your day 1 to somebody else's day 2000.
Yeah.
Like, if you wanted to learn basketball, right, and you pick up a basketball, you can't expect to shoot like fucking Curry. Curry put what, 25 years into shooting X amount of shots every day?
Yeah.
So now you got to start on your day 1. All right, put up your shots. All right, get a little better, go through the motions, keep progressing. You can't look at somebody who's been doing something for an extended amount of time and expect to just operate at that level. You got to learn. You got to go through the paces. And I think we've touched on this many times on previous episodes. The lack of gratification from that is like the test. It's like, all right, if you can do this without getting the gratification, then you really want this.
Yeah.
But once you realize that gratification of being able to make a 3 at will or get 100,000 views on a video doesn't come right away, it's like, all right, now it's just a matter of will and resilience. And that's when the game really starts.
Yeah, it's discipline. But, yeah, I think a lot of it comes from comparing yourself to others, comes from just putting a lot on your own self. Like, thinking you have to be something and then stressing yourself out for not being it just yet. Which, again, like, a 23-year-old that's, like, super successful is not as common as you think. A 28-year-old making that, like, 150 grand, it's not that common. Mm-hmm. How do you expect yourself at 23 to be like, oh, I'm not there, I'm a piece of shit? Well, then, yeah, you're going to live like a piece of shit. But if you're like, I'm 23, how can I get there by 24? And, like, you just fucking hustle and, like, just try to figure it out, you might get there. Mm-hmm. Or if not, by 28, instead of 150, you're at 200.
Look,
or maybe past that, who knows, depending on what it is that you do, your goals,
how hard you work,
purpose, all that stuff.
Something to bring this into perspective, like you said, is we hear 1%, right? And typically the 1% is around 400 to 500K and above. You're the 1% of the country, right? But if you were to zoom in, what do you think is, we're 23 years old, what do you think is the 1% of the 23-year-olds?
Yeah, I've seen it before, but I don't remember the number. So I know it's not that much. I believe it's either 70 or 80K, but it's like around there. If you make 70 or 80K at 23 years old, you are in the 1% of earners in your age group. Now, that's a lot less than fucking 500K or 400K. Yeah.
But
I think 1% for 400 or 500 is what age? That's like not until like almost 40s. No?
No, that's for all age groups. So everybody from fucking 18 to fucking 65. Okay. So that's for everybody. To be in the 1% of that, you need to be making at least 400K. But if you were just wanted to focus on your age group and below, or like your general ballpark range, all right, bam, all right, 70K, 80K, bam. Now you get the 70, the 80K. Guess what? Bam. Now let's focus on 90. All right, got 90. Let's get 100. 120, 160. Then you start just moving up in the world.
Yeah.
That's leveling up. Break it down piece by piece. Like, you can go up a staircase one step at a time, right? And it's like, it's going to be smooth like that. You know, you're going to take a next step, you're going to take a next step. Or you can try to jump up the staircase, you're going to gas out.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot more energy.
And one of the biggest things about that too is like, think about 65 is like what's considered the retirement age.
Mm-hmm.
From 18 to 65. My math is terrible, but I don't know how many. What, like 40 something years?
Some shit like that.
It's never too late to peak or like to like reach a goal financially when it comes to finances, right? Because maybe other things, time tells you, sorry, it's too late. But from 18 to 65, you have that amount of time, or even beyond that, to make as much money as you like or can. So just because you don't have it at 23 doesn't mean you won't have it at 30. Just because you don't have it at 30 doesn't mean you won't have it at 40. Just because you don't have it at 40 doesn't mean you won't have it at 65. It's if you assume that because you don't have it at 23 that you'll never have it, then at 65 you will not have it. But think about how many years that is, and like how that's how many years you have to get to where you want to be. And that's a lot of fucking time. That's a lot of time. It's just people give up so early on. There's people who reach 28, 35, even 40, and they're like, I'm 40 years old, I'm an old person, this is what my life's going to be for the next however many years I'm alive. Like, if you're 40, you still have 25 years to make a difference before you retire. You could imagine how much...
And retire, by the way.
Yeah. You know how much can change in 25 years? That's that's a quarter of a century. So much can change in those 25 years. Like, it's never too late. Like, you can peak at any time financially.
Look at people like
And I shouldn't use peak because that means you cap out. But like, you can exceed what you have financially at any time.
Look at people like the Waltons with Walmart, the KFC guy whose name is escaping my mind.
Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, like a lot of these billionaires didn't reach that until after ages of like 45, 50. Like,
yeah,
and I want to touch on what you said before, like, I don't have it at 23, then 30. If I say, all right, I want to become a millionaire, right? I'm 23 years old. If I say, all right, I want to become a millionaire by 24, that's 2 months. That's a tight time frame there, right?
Yeah.
But if I say, I want to become a millionaire by 30, I want to become a millionaire by 33, right? 10 years. Now, that big goal over the course of 10 years, that shit's like, not that it's light work, but it's so much more doable.
Yeah.
You got to break it down. This is also what we spoke about a few episodes ago. It's like a lot of the stress comes from the deadlines we place on our goals.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that the goal is out of our abilities.
I'm doing math.
I thought you were doodling.
Yeah.
I was like, is this motherfucker drawing SpongeBob?
It is 47 years. Imagine if you tell yourself, okay, if you're 18, let's say, right? Okay, I have 47 years to become a millionaire. You almost have half a fucking century to make it happen. You're telling me you don't have enough time in 47 years to make it happen? You got enough time. Even if you're 25 or if you're 30. If you're 50, you still have 15 years to make it happen. That's a long fuck. If you're fucking 55, you have 10 years to make it happen. If you're 60, people do it in 5 years too. You could make this happen still. Like, it's never too late. But you just have to want it. That's honestly what it comes down to. You can level up whenever you want, at any time you want. You just can't be lazy.
It's true.
And I think that's the biggest issue with it, is that it's not that people like the idea of leveling up. They would like, I would like to level up. But you don't want to level up. Because if you wanted to level up, you would do what it takes, and you put in the work that's necessary to level up.
See, right there, instead of saying, I would say need.
Yeah.
Because you don't get what you want, you get what you need.
Yeah.
And, like, there's a difference between saying, like, I want to make 6 figures. Or, damn, I need to take care of my mom, my sister, my little brother. I need to make 6 figures. Like, there's 2 very different mindsets.
One is like, you got my bad.
Now, I was going to say, one of them is going to settle.
Yeah.
Settle for less.
Yeah, the one that's saying I want is gonna settle.
Mm-hmm.
The one that's saying I need it, they're probably gonna exceed it.
It's true.
But also, by the way, I don't know if the owner of KFC is actually named Colonel Sanders. I just know that's like the person. I thought about it after I said it. I was like, damn, somebody's gonna roast me.
But I wish they would. Come try.
But yeah, do you think family plays a role into people's success, whether it is where they are right now or their ability or belief? I shouldn't say ability because everybody has the ability to.
Mm-hmm.
Their belief into leveling up.
Oh, of course. Remember, there's a period of time where you adopted a mindset, right? And you also adopted certain expectations. Take, for example, stereotypes of people who are born and their parents are like, all right, you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer. Well, guess what? What if you fucking want to be a carpenter? Like, I don't know, whatever your passion is. Yeah. Or you have a passion for TikTok, or you have a passion for YouTube and content creation, and you're really good at sewing baskets, and that's what you want to teach people how to do. But you have the not the societal pressure, your familial pressure from your parents. It's like, why would you do that? You're supposed to be this, you're supposed to be that, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to make X amount of money, right? X, Y, and Z. And those pressures, it takes a lot of fucking balls to be like, you know what? I'm going to do what I want to do instead of what you want me to do.
Yeah.
Because I actually think until everybody has that, unless what they want you to do is actually something you're passionate about, then you just fucking hit the lottery, right? Mm-hmm. But I think everybody needs to have that point in time where they're like, you know what? I have to live for me. I have to, you know, make my own decisions and figure it out for myself to really progress in my own life and figure it out for myself. That's when you can really start progressing in life, I believe. As a person, as yourself, and not just, that's the difference between being somebody's son and like being like an adult son. I don't know if that made any fucking sense right there, but like that's the difference to me of being an adult. Like there are people who take these risks at like 17 and 18, and to me those people have entered adulthood quicker than some other people.
Yeah. I mean, there's never, well, hopefully not too late, but you don't have to like become an adult right away either. I think that's one thing, like I feel like some people are like that, like they mature faster than others. But if that's how it worked out, that's how it worked out. But what I was gonna say was expectations of parents. Good thing I have it written down. I think expectations of parents can play a role into it. Like you said, like if your parents expect you to be something that you don't want to be, that probably can play a big role into where you are financially or just like in general in life. Because if they're expecting you to be something that you don't want to be, then in a sense you're really holding yourself back. Because maybe they want you to be a doctor, and as a doctor you can make $400K a year. But maybe you wanted to own your own business, and as the business owner, if you did that, you'd make $3 million a year, kind of thing. Or maybe you make $50K a year, right? Yeah. But at the end of the day, you got to do what you want to do. Like, it's your life. You know, your parents can help you out to a certain point, but then at some point, they can't live the life for you. You've got to live your own life. And no one wants to disappoint their parents, but you also don't want to live a miserable life and live it for someone else either. Yeah. You got to live it for yourself too. At the end of the day, when they're gone, you just got yourself. And if you're miserable with what you do and they're gone, you're going to be probably fucking very miserable. Like you're going to be very sad, depressed, all that stuff. So I think part of leveling up also plays a role into doing what intrigues you to do. Like if you think, okay, maybe if I do this, and it doesn't have to be like owning your own business, it could be a job, right? It could be like, maybe if I go into this specific field, maybe I might like it. Maybe there's potential for me to achieve the things I want to achieve. Maybe I won't be a millionaire, but I'll be happy and I'll be able to make a living. And fucking do it, right? Everybody has their own thing. You don't have to be a millionaire, but just level up in any sense. Like we've been talking more financially for the most part, but just level up in general as a person. Like by doing that, you're leveling up in the sense where it's like you're taking control of your life now. Yep. Now you're living for you. Now you're deciding. You're making your own decisions. You at that point you've chosen. Okay, I'm living life. Life's not living me, or others aren't living it for me, and so you got to level up in all aspects too. Whether not just financially. Financial is obviously important, right? Because that's how you eat and survive and put a roof over your head. But you also got to level up in other parts of life like that too. Because if you just let people tell you what to do and you just do it, you're gonna get smacked around all life. You're exactly. You're the kind of person that other people will take advantage of. As bad as it sounds and as bad as it is, it's the truth. Like, you could take somebody who does half the work that you do, but then they get paid more than you because they request more money. They require, in order for them to work that much, more money. Whereas you just do it. And then they don't give you those opportunities and bonuses because you don't ask for it. And they know, as long as we give him this and just tell him to do it, he's going to do it. So why pay him more? He's not asking for more. Or she's not asking for more. You know? So you got to level up in that aspect too. Like, if you want it, you got to go get it. It's not going to come to you. Like, not many things are going to fall on your lap. So level up in that aspect too. Put your foot down. Learn how to say no sometimes. Know when you need to be a dick sometimes. Sometimes it's fucking necessary. Like, I don't want to be an asshole, but sometimes you have to be an asshole to get your point across. You know, like I said, if I'm busting my ass and I never complain and I never ask for a raise or nothing else, why would they give me the raise?
Closed mouths don't get fed.
Exactly. If you don't open your mouth, the food can't go in.
And it's like, that's one of my gripes with the whole like, oh, just be nice and you'll get everything you want, because that's not fucking true. I don't know, like, look, take sports, right? We played sports for many years. When you're trying out for a team, right, you have to try out for that team understanding that I'm taking this spot away from somebody else because I fucking deserve it and I worked harder than them for it, right? If you're like, oh, you know, I don't want to take nobody else's spot, then you're not going to get put on the fucking team.
Yeah.
And that's with anything in life, whether if you're trying to get a job, if you're in fucking school and you want to be the president of the class, all right, you got to take that spot from somebody else. I feel like you need a certain level of understanding that you have to be an asshole in some way, shape, or form to really move forward.
Yeah. And I don't think it has to be, like, so bad. But it's just, well, at least the way I take it, is, like, being an asshole in a sense where, like, being able to put your foot down when it's necessary. Like, if somebody's trying to take advantage of you, it's not so much being you can come off as an asshole by doing so, but in reality, you're protecting yourself. Like, if somebody's obviously trying to take advantage of you, and you put your foot down, you're like, nah, nope. Then do, by all means, you got to do what's necessary for that, right? At the end of the day, you only got yourself, right? You got to look out for yourself. Yes, you have other people too, but they're not going to put the foot down for you. They're not going to pick your leg. They shouldn't have to pick the leg up for you. They shouldn't have to say, no, my friend's not going to do that for you. You as your own entity should be able to be like, fuck you, I'm not doing it. You do it. Oh, you don't like? Okay, cool. Somebody else will pay me more to do this. Or I'll find somewhere else to go. Like, there's always somewhere else to be. And, yeah, I forgot where I was going.
There you go.
I think I said everything.
No, you worded that very well. It's like, it's funny because Jordan Peterson has a clip where he talks about this, where it's like, one of the deciding factors in getting raises is just simply asking for one. Yeah. Most people just don't ask for raises, so most people just don't get raises.
Yeah. That's one thing I've started to learn. Most people don't get what they want because they don't ask. If you just ask for it, even if they say no, the fact that you asked, maybe they'll start to pay attention more to what you're doing and realize, oh, you know what? Maybe he or she does deserve this. Okay, here.
You ask for a raise in January, doesn't mean you're going to get the raise in January, but shit, let's say in April, they're like, you know what? This person asked for a raise, their performance has exceeded expectations, bam, raise.
Yep. If you never ask, you never get what you want. If you don't work for what you want, you also never get what you want.
But a key component of all this, you got to make yourself a value. Whatever you want, you got to make yourself deserving of it. Like, Don't ask for a raise if you fucking take off every other day and show up late every day and suck at your job. Nah, then don't ask for a raise because then you don't deserve one. Yeah. But if you're there on time, you put in the fucking work, you're progressing and you're getting better and you're exceeding expectations, then it's like, yeah, all right, you know what? Let me ask for that raise. Yeah. You got to make yourself of value.
Yeah, you got to present a good case.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be able to put yourself in a good position with your best foot forward to get that.
Agreed. You get what you... How do I word this? Damn, I heard it. Brandon Carter said it. But as I went to say it, it left my mind.
I know where you're going with it. I just don't remember the exact quote. I think it's you get what you work for? Or
I don't know. It's gonna hit me at like 6 a.m. randomly.
I know the quote though. I know what you're talking about. I don't remember it though, but I know of it. It's like you don't get what you want. You get what you put effort into. I don't know. It's something along those lines.
I have a different Brandon Carter quote.
He has a lot of good quotes.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, shout out Brandon Carter. It's you don't rise to the bar of your expectations. You fall to the level of your standard.
Yeah.
That's another one that I fuck with. I was like,
That one I know. Yeah, that one's 100% true. Just think about it. If your expectation is here, but you're holding your standards to here, why would you ever hit here? Once you meet your standards, you're like, oh, I'm good. You got complacent.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably like one of the worst things you can do.
It's true. That's a good example of this is this guy, Steve Will Do It. Where he's like, his standard is, I'm going to give out all this money because if it hurts me, then I didn't even deserve it in the first place and I failed.
Yeah.
So that's a level, that's a way of looking at things where you're constantly pushing yourself to move forward.
Yeah.
You keep forcing progress because it's like, you know what? If this happens and I failed, well then if I stop, then that shit's going to come true. So bam, keeps moving forward, keeps progressing.
Yeah, I fuck with Steve Will Do It. Guess Steve Will Do It on the podcast, guys. Everybody tag him.
Yeah, everybody tag Steve Will Do It.
No, I like his mindset though on that because that's basically what he was saying. He was like, if 5 years from now I regret giving all this money out to people, then I'm a failure. Mm-hmm. Which is him basically not getting complacent. It's him saying, okay, I got to work harder. 5 years from now, I should be twice as successful as I am right now. So that money I gave out meant nothing. Well, in terms of finance.
Yeah. See, in the most recent time of like my life, new job opportunities, things like that, and analyzing, I'm pretty sure you've heard the question before where it's like, what's your why? Mm-hmm. Right? It's like now at 23 years old where I'm figuring out, all right, this is why I do the things that I like. This is why, I even want to be successful, because I do believe if your goals are just external, then at some point you're not going to have the internal drive to keep going. Because, for example, for me, I have a lot of external goals. I like money. Like, I want to make as much money as fucking possible. Yeah. But I also have internal goals as well. And the balance of wow, that stutter right there. The balance of the two, I think, is what's like key in life. Because you have to have like that internal metric system that like, all right, yeah, I'm progressing. Like,
what's like an example of like an internal metric that you have? Or in general?
I have an internal goal. It's a goal that only exists in my head, right? And it's what I think about. And it actually came up in conversation last night while smoking cigars, But it's like, if my mother doesn't live to see what I've became or become, mm-hmm. then it's like, to me, I failed. Like, I fucking failed then. Like, one of my metrics of my success in life is that my mother gets to see that her hard work didn't go to waste, that I made something of myself. So, with that said, the days or the nights where it's like I want to go out sometimes or I want to just go to bed, it's like, for example, probably tonight, I'm going to lay down in bed and I'm going to just be like, no, let me just work on something a little more. And that's why the thought exists. And it's like through a lot of like...
So that inner metric is what creates the external metrics, mm-hmm. in a sense.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good way of putting it.
Okay. So basically, the inner goal creates the outer goal, and find the inner goal, and then within the inner goal, you find yourself working to achieve the external goal.
Agreed.
My fucking voice went.
But no, yeah, exactly like that. So like, it starts off, all right, I need to succeed before my mother's time passes, right? All right, so now what's my definition of success for her to witness? All right, X, Y, and Z. All right, cool. Well, now let's take X, Y, and Z, where it's like, for me, I've always been a business kind of guy. I see myself owning businesses, right? All right, so now what kind of businesses? All right, I like this industry. All right, now how do I get into that? Like, and it all starts from the internal goal of, my mom needs to see me succeed. All right, what's the definition? All right, how do we go about that? Like,
Yeah.
it's like an internal GPS.
It creates the route, and then figure your way out from there.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope. I never thought of it that way. Because I feel like most people have internal goals. They just don't maybe realize it. Like for myself too. Like now that you're saying it, I'm thinking of like certain reasons why I do certain things, and then it's like kind of making sense now. Like okay, that actually kind of makes more sense. I think it's the external, but now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, oh no, it's really internal. It's what's going on in here.
Yeah.
That's causing me to partake in these actions that are leading me somewhere else. But this is really why I'm doing it. It's dope.
Freaking.
That's a new task for you guys. Write down, think about it. You probably have one already, but truly think about like an internal goal. Like, what's something that like if you achieve inside here, it would just light you up for the good.
If you don't know where to start with this. And it's funny because this was actually one of my interview questions. It's like, what's your why? And why is actually an acronym for what hurts you. So, for example, mine, as I just said, is the idea of my mother not seeing me successful. That hurts me. It causes me physical and mental anguish. Bam, that's my why, right? So it's like, what hurts you? And that's a place to start. And then you start listing things. Bam. Like, I'm a big person on lists. Make lists. Take the thoughts out of your head. Put them on paper so you can visualize.
That's dope. I never heard the acronym before. What hurts you?
First time I ever heard it was like sophomore year of high school, I think. Inky Johnson. A speaker.
Yeah, I know who he is. Oh, I don't know if they do, but yeah. He's not as popular anymore.
I'll link to some Inky Johnson stuff. But no, that's a place where I would say to start.
Oh wow, you're about to make me a demon in work. Pick up that phone call. So what hurts you? What do you mean? What is affecting your business or hurting it that you wish didn't?
I just don't have enough time with my kids.
Oh my god, bro, I'm gonna become a monster with that. Bro, that's literally what I'm like. So what's your why? They're gonna be like, the fuck? Be like, and what I mean by that is, what hurts you? What is hurting you that's affecting the business and could be better?
Sir, it is 9 a.m. on a Wednesday.
This. Okay. Let me set you up real quick, bro. Oh my goodness, that's so easy. That's too easy. Who told you this though? What hurts you? Or you came up with it? You just said Inky Johnson.
Yeah, Inky Johnson. But like, I haven't heard this since like sophomore year of high school.
Oh my god, that's lethal.
Yo, fire! You guys just witnessed fire.
We're getting promoted in 2 months.
Yo, facts. Gonna leave the training. All right, and
training's over, and you're hired, and you're promoted.
Promoted.
I said hired. I meant to say promoted. But not yet. Overall, man, leveling up is super important, and you should always level up, not just financially, but in all aspects of life, like whether it's cognitive, physically, spiritually, emotionally, everything. There's always something you can improve on. Always something. There's no way you're perfect at everything because no one's perfect. I'll be the first to admit I'm not perfect. A lot of the things I tell you guys is from experience of doing the opposite and learning like, this is what I should have done and going along the way. And some of it too is just like going through it in the moment. And I always say, like, I could be 1,000% wrong, but in this moment it feels right to me. That doesn't mean it is right, but in the moment it does. And who knows, maybe tomorrow, a week from now, a year from now, 10 years from now, I look back at this and I'm like, the fuck was I talking about? Like, I sound like an idiot. Like, why didn't I realize this so much sooner? But it's part of leveling up.
True.
Because if I don't do this, I never get to that point where I can look back and be like, you know what, I was wrong. Oh, you know what I said probably was messed up. You know what, this. Like, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I fucked up. But if I don't try to exceed that, I never get to that. And I never reach that level of life.
It's true.
And the more you level up, the better life gets.
You got to shed the layers of who you are so you can become who you need to become.
Exactly. But yeah. It's just taking the time. Let me see. I'm trying to think if I have anything else to say. I don't know if I really do. I mean, I guess a good example is like, it's going to sound kind of cocky or braggadocious, but like if you look at us, right? When we first started this podcast, what was it, March?
Mm-hmm.
I was working minimum wage. You were working minimum wage. And the whole point of the podcast was two guys that are lost, just trying to figure shit out, but also trying to improve ourselves along the way and using this as an outlet to help that. 3 and a half months later, here we are, and we've leveled up.
Yo,
we had that goal, and we had that goal in mind. I don't know if we ever vocalized it on camera. I know we said like, oh, we're working towards something. But, well, I don't know if I verbally said like, this is what I'm trying to do. But now 3.5 months later, after saying this is what we're trying to do, we actually did it.
Yeah.
And now it's like, now that I got to that, I already immediately got a new goal. Like, all right, this is my goal. And when I get to that, I already have another goal ready for past that. And another one for past that. Like, the list keeps going and going.
Yeah.
So, and I guess you can make the argument, my fault. I guess you can make the argument like, oh, like at what point does it stop? It doesn't stop. That's life. Life stops when I die.
Yeah. Progress stops when you die.
Exactly.
I was going to say, as you meant, like, as you're speaking, the reason why I was so eager to talk, it was like, yo, son, even though this is like, we're talking to you guys, we're really talking to ourselves, and the Lost Boyz podcast is really just a documentary on Gianni and Brandon's progress. Yeah. Like, if you really think about it, look at going into the middle of July, like you said, versus where we were in March. Like, yo, like, shit's changed.
Big time.
Like,
wait, my mindset, everything. A lot, so much of, I don't know, I can't speak for you, right? I'm not you. But for me, at least, my mindset, my outlook on many things, where I'm at now, like, so many things have changed. So many things have changed. And the crazy part is that we said that that's what we wanted to do in the very beginning. And we did it. And we could fucking do it. Why can't you? We get 7 views a podcast. You can fucking do it.
Exactly. Yo, and it's not that we did it. We're doing it. It's not an ending thing.
You're right. It's not that we did it. We are doing it.
Like, honestly, most people have like their YouTube channels, their podcasts, their TikToks and shit, and their metric of success is subscribers, followers, and things like that. Honestly, I'm seeing our metric of success as like our personal progress, personal development, and this is our weekly check-in. Like, bam.
Yeah, now you say that's a good point, because it makes sense. Like, that's how, like you mentioned, like this is more like, if it helps a viewer, it helps a viewer, but it's really for us talking to ourselves. And it's low-key a fact, because every time we have a conversation on this, I feel like my mind expands, and I become more open, and I like to say smarter, or like maybe more, I see things more clear. And no one did anything. It was just me vocalizing everything and talking to somebody about it, that then in my head as I'm talking, I'm realizing, oh shit, this is what I need to do. And it's funny because like I'm talking to the camera like I'm trying to give them advice, but in reality I'm talking it, so when I watch it back I can hear myself give my own self advice. Dude. And it just so happens people watch it.
Facts. How many times have we come in here with an idea in mind of what we're recording, have a conversation while we're listening to some music before we record, and it's like, wait, no, this is what we have to talk about. And we scrap the whole episode and just on the fly talk about whatever it is that we're thinking and feeling that day.
Yeah. Damn, yeah, that's crazy. But it's literally just an external, like you said, a documentary for us to see our progress. and it just so happens other people happen to watch it. Like I've always said, I think I've said it. My memory isn't the best, but I'm pretty sure I've said a couple times that like, I don't care if no one watches this, but if this just helped one person, forget about it, because I already know it's helping me. So if it could do the same for someone else, shit, that's crazy. Because I would have never thought that.
And like, shout out to the people that have hit us up, that have told us in person,
have been
like,
watching and liking and commenting, subscribed, all that stuff.
Facts. Like, shout out to you guys who tell us like, oh, you know, I needed to hear that. Like, yo, that shit feels so good. It's like,
it does feel good.
Huh?
It does
like,
feel good.
Like, damn, okay, like we helped somebody.
It feels weird, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because again, I have those doubts too. Where like I'm saying these things, and then when I hear somebody, if the times I've heard somebody say like, oh, like it was cool to hear that, like I'm not the only one going through that. There's somebody else like hearing, like going through similar situations or thinking the same way in terms of what they've gone through and stuff, or are going through, or want to go through. It's like, honestly, I doubt myself, because I'm like, damn, like really, what I said, like what I said impacted you like that. I was just talking. Yeah, I was just speaking from the heart, like what I feel and I think. Doesn't mean it's right, but the fact that somebody was able to relate to it kind of blows my mind. But that's where the doubts come in, because like if no one says nothing, I don't have those doubts. But when someone says it, I start doubting myself for some reason. Instead of like gaining more confidence, I'm like, damn, really? But then it gets me hyped too. Yeah. I'm like, fuck, bro, this is such a weird feeling. Like it feels good that it helps somebody. Then it also feels weird, like, damn, what the fuck? My words actually meant something to someone.
Like, do I qualify to... Like,
yeah, like,
that's the way I
look at it. Yeah.
But nah. Honestly, 17 weeks in, no regrets about fucking starting. And I can say I'm so fucking glad that we took the leap. Yeah. And we just recorded that shitty-ass first episode where I'm, like, half in frame. The camera
just blurries every second.
The room is
I forgot to put the picture. My back was, like, drenched in sweat.
Yo, son. So glad, because shout out to our 60 subscribers at the time of recording this, because it's like, yo, 60,000, 60 million. Like, it doesn't... For me right now, like, it just doesn't matter. Like, it to me, it's just dope as fuck that there's people that think what we say is important enough to subscribe and to listen.
Yeah, for me, it's not like, oh, I gotta record because we need an episode this week. It's like, oh, I get to record.
Yeah.
That's the like mindset I have. It's like I look forward to recording because I just know we're gonna talk about something. Even sometimes it could sound repetitive. For me, it just like solidifies more like what I need to hear, and then like it honestly makes me more confident. To be honest. Like even speaking in front of groups of people, like before, I mean, don't get me wrong, I still get nervous sometimes. Before I used to get real nervous, like my voice would start shaking and stuff. Now, it makes no fucking sense. But the fact I'm speaking to a camera that I'm literally seeing myself in, for some reason, just gave me confidence that like, I can talk to anyone. It feels like going to work now. They need me to talk in front of everybody. I'll be a little nervous, but I have enough self-confidence to just be like, oh well, like I'm just do it. But like practicing, I guess, by doing this like really helped,
dude. It's because there could be 1,000 people in front of you, not a single one of them can judge you harder than the motherfucker that's looking back at you in the camera. We are our own worst critics. Every time it's time to upload the episode, I'm like, damn, I shouldn't touch my nose so much, or like, damn, like that. So I'm just like, you know what, whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah,
like,
I always find something. You always find something, but I don't know, man. It's part of leveling up.
Facts.
This is a way of leveling up. Just that alone, the fact that I'm talking to a camera with the light on top of it that's blinding me, that alone has leveled me up in other aspects of my life.
It's true.
Many aspects of my life. So, and let's see where it takes me going forward. So it's what, week 17? Yeah, week 17. So that's 4 months now?
4 months and 1 week.
No, I kept saying 3. 4 months and 1 week.
8, 12. Yeah, 4 months.
4 months. It's crazy. 4 months in. Almost at half a year.
We wouldn't have gotten here if we didn't take the leap and we didn't step outside of our comfort zone to record in front of a little ass plastic box that can eventually, who knows how many people have seen by now. I'll check our view count eventually.
Yeah.
I don't really look at the views.
Yeah, I don't look at the views either. I just post we posted on my story, and just leave it at that. I just look at the email to see if somebody commented, because then I'll go in and like respond. Other than that, I don't check. But yeah, with that being said, I mean, I've got nothing left to say. You got anything you want to say?
We're good. What are we? An hour into?
Yeah. Well, it was a little less because we had a 8-minute, 10-minute conversation beforehand. But we use names, so we can't use that conversation. But it was good. It was for the good. Yeah. But anyways, with that being said, I've got nothing left to say. You?
I'm good.
Gianni.
Brandon.
Lost Boyz Podcast. Peace out.
Peace.